shit real. I contemplate about how I feel.
Okay, so hey guys, it's Benay, and today I'm back here with another video. Ooh, like 3 videos back to back. Like, as you can see from the title, this is going to be a story time of basically how I found out that I am pregnant. I know to some people this may be shocking because the only people that know are like my family members and just people that I'm really close with. So yeah, let's just get into the video. I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support, of course. Let's just jump right into it. It was so like surprising when I found out because I lost my virginity when I was 16. I've been active since I was 16. And yeah, I use condoms and stuff sometimes, but with guys that I would be in a relationship with, condoms wasn't really much used. I knew from the beginning I always wanted to have kids. I always knew that I wanted a little girl. When I reached like 18 and I had a boyfriend at the time, it was like we wouldn't use condoms. So, and honestly, I was kind of hoping at some point I would get pregnant. It was like I wanted to have a child in my early 20s, like between 20 and 25. I didn't want to have it like when I'm 30 and stuff like that. So I wanted a child at this young age. And honestly, back then I used to be like, because I wanted a kid so bad, I was like, honestly, I don't even care if the father stays in its life. I just want a child. I don't mind being a single mother. Now I know it is tough. I know single mothers have it hard. But I was really determined, okay? Like I really wanted a child, but I wasn't going out there looking to have a child at that age. But if it happened accidentally, I still would have been happy, because I always wanted a kid. I feel like I was supposed to be pregnant a long time ago, but God had other plans. Only one boyfriend did this before my current, my ex or whatever. I just feel like with the amount of times I was being inseminated in, I should have been pregnant from a long time, but it never happened. But I was like, okay, whatever, okay, cool. Now it's going on like years. I'm like, is my body okay? And I started to get in that doubtful place, but not really too doubtful until I came into like my current relationship with my current boyfriend, which I love dearly. Honestly, I think we may have used the condom once. The second time we had sex, in the middle of it, you'd be like, oh, I'm about to come, or you want me to come with you? Like some shit like that. And, like in the moment of sex, I'm just like, come with me. So that's been happening from literally the beginning of our relationship, and we've been together for like over a year now, and I never got pregnant. And because of that, that's when I started to feel like, okay, I feel like something may be wrong with me now. At this point, it's like, you can't tell me nothing. Like, I am being cummed in every time we literally have sex, and I've never got pregnant. And it's been over a year. Something gotta be wrong with me. So at that point, I was really believing that I couldn't produce kids. And that honestly was really, really, really sad and depressing for me. And I wanted to go get checked out from like a gynecologist, but no gynecologist. And whatever procedure they would have had to do was expensive, and I couldn't really do it at that time. So it was also frustrating because it was like, I already think I can't get pregnant. I can't see a gynecologist to confirm it. I ain't getting pregnant. It was like, at that point, it was like, okay. It was really like, it would be really messed up for someone who really wanted to have kids. Literally from since she was small, knew she wanted to have kids and can't have kids. Like, I used to be the cousin that would love to babysit my baby cousins because I love infants. I love feeding them, changing their diaper. Literally, I love it. So it was like, this would be really fucked up if I can't have kids. I think in my relationship now, I took about maybe 4 or 5 pregnancy tests, and all of them would always come out negative, even when times when I was late. Like, there was a time, like I think the time before I got pregnant, before I found out I was pregnant, my period lasted for 7 days. Okay, my period literally came on the 7th day. So literally, like, Usually if it's late by like maybe like 2 days, 3 days. But you was late whole fucking 6 days. So at that point, I was like, okay, the 7th day about to come. If it don't come, it's official. I'm gonna take a test. I literally on the 7th day, I was at work and I had to go pee. And all I saw was the blood, and I was like, I'm fed up at this point. And I bought a pregnancy test. I didn't take it yet. I was like, I'm gonna take it, and the next day, you know, after the 7th day, I'm gonna take it. I just wasted a bunch of money on a pregnancy test. Okay. After that, there was this time, I don't remember, it was like in November. It was in November. I think it was after my birthday, before, I'm not entirely sure. I will correct myself on the screen. So my last pregnancy test, I have it here. This was my last not my last pregnancy test, my last negative pregnancy test. I kept it. I kept it. I don't know why. This is like months old, but I kept it. And I was just like, I don't know. I kept it. It was just something about that, seeing that negative. I have an emotional attachment to this, okay? It was in November, and I just remember it was like, I didn't have like the normal pregnancy symptoms. So it was like, I used to work on overnight shift. I was a front desk agent, and I worked the overnight shift. So basically night audit / front desk, right? And I just remember like, I would have to go to work for 11, which means I would leave home by 10, like after 10. I would literally eat before I go to work. And by the time I reached work, give it like an hour, and I was hungry as fuck. It was like as if I did not freaking eat, like my belly was on E. Usually I never took my lunch breaks until like after 3, 4, when I took out my lunch breaks, but I was already hungry by like 12. I'm hungry as shit. At this point, I was already believing that I cannot get pregnant, so I was not thinking of it. I mean, thinking, you know, nothing about it. I remember I was home one day. My boyfriend, he would usually lay on my stomach, but this time, like when he lay on my stomach, it would feel uncomfortable. It would be like this weird pressure, like this uncomfortable pressure feeling. Like I'd have to be like, I don't know, it was weird. I think I let it go on for a while, and I was like, you know what? I went to CVS and I was like, let me just get a pregnancy test. Now, I always would buy like the cheap pregnancy test or whatever, but I always wanted like one of the clear blue ones. Like I would love to read the word pregnant or not pregnant. I just wanted like that advancedness. I wanted, you know, like I don't know. But when I was in CVS, I was like, it don't make sense freaking getting that, because what I spend like $20 on for a pregnancy test that can come negative, that's literally what I said in my head, and that's literally what made me got the cheap ones, because I'm like, I'm not spending $20 on a pregnancy test that's gonna come back negative. When I reached home, I took the test. Was not expecting anything from this test at all, okay? At all. So I would usually turn it down because the anxiety, like even though in my head I'm like, this is gonna come out negative, it's like still that anxiety. I turned it over, I saw the one line, it was like the second line was like very, very, very thick, like light. I literally looked at it, I'm like, and I'm like trying to move it, I'm like, hold the fuck on, is that second light coming in? And then it started getting more bold and apparent, and I'm like, no fucking way. It was like so many emotions in that moment. I was like, no fucking way. I took 2 other tests. And I kept my pregnancy test, because this was, like I said, this was a big moment for me. 3 tests. 3 freaking tests I took. And all of them came out positive. I remember calling her, and I was on, you know, I video called her and I showed her, and she was like freaking out because she recently had a baby, and she was like hoping that I get pregnant. But I had a conversation with her before saying that I honestly don't think I could have kids. I just remember feeling so happy, and just, I was like happy, like I was smiling, but I was still low-key in denial. Ain't no way after all these years, I finally got a positive pregnancy test. A doctor gotta tell me this fucking shit. I was like, so excited to share the news with my boyfriend, even though I'm still like in denial. Like before I tell anyone, like she was the only person that knew beforehand, before I tell anyone, a doctor gotta confirm the shit. He came home from work, I had the pregnancy test laid out in the bathroom, just laid out for whenever he goes to the bathroom, because usually when he comes home from work, after he takes off his clothes, he goes straight into the bathroom. And he was going to go take a shower, and I saw him went into the bathroom, like walking into the bathroom. So I like followed behind him just because I want to be able to get his reaction. I don't know why I didn't record any of this. And he saw it. Like, he didn't know how to react. So when he saw it, he started out in like smiling and like laughing and everything. And then I thought it was a complete breakdown. And I didn't know what to do because I'm like, I'm not getting an abortion if this is true. So I'm sitting on the floor while he just like literally having a whole anxiety attack. So, and I'm letting him, you know, just deal with his emotions, letting it go through, whatever. And I'm just there like, am I the only one that's gonna be happy about this? He had a breakdown. You know, he hugged me and do all of that. You know, worried about like how are we gonna take care of our child, you know, in our situation and stuff like that. He's not where he wants to be. After, you know, watching him have his breakdown, like I started getting in my head because I'm an overthinker. I started to have a breakdown. Literally, I was happy in the beginning, but watching him have a breakdown, I'm like, oh my fucking god, am I gonna do this by myself? Like, I just had a breakdown too, because I'm like, he don't look like he's excited about it. Like, I thought she was gonna be happy. This is not the reaction I was expecting. He came to me and he was reassuring me, literally in the middle of him reassuring me that, you know, we're gonna handle this. I start crying because I'm like, no, you just break down for what? So now I don't believe nothing that you're saying. I feel like you're gonna let me do this for myself. Then I told him that I told my friend Deja. I think we got on the phone with Deja, and as he was talking to Deja, and Deja was like telling him like, hey, just basically being positive, just talking to him because he's finished with his breakdown. He's like, you know, someone's talking to him, talking him down, letting him know like everything's gonna be okay or whatever. And like I said, I'm already in that state that he's scared, like he doesn't want to, like, how are we gonna do this now? Now I start doubting myself, so I start crying like more. And so I'm like, oh my god, what if he's right? Like, we can't handle this, we can't do this, like we ain't in the situation. Like, yeah, so I was freaking out. I still wasn't trying to get my hopes completely up because I'm like, I still need a doctor to confirm this. Schedule an appointment. Went in. They slipped me in this room. She just was talking to me. She took me in the back and she had me take the test, and she confirmed that I was pregnant. And I was like, oh my god. I'll put a picture of the pregnancy test, and I'm like, oh my fucking god. And then I found out I was 6 fucking weeks. I was a whole month pregnant. After that, he gave me like a list of information and stuff, like clinics and stuff that I could go to, and just a bunch of different information. I found the clinic closest to me that I go to now. I think that next week they did an ultrasound when I was finally 7 weeks, because we have to be 7 weeks to really get an ultrasound where you can be able to see anything. And I was able to see like the little pea. So right now I have a total of 3 ultrasound pictures. My pea he was so small, and yes, I'm having a boy. He is so small. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they had it labeled here, baby or whatever. He was so small. And then I have another one when I was 11 weeks and 6 days, so basically almost 12 days. Look at him. Ugh, so cute. I found out he was a boy at 17 weeks. Well, actually I found out when he was like around 10-11 weeks, because apparently there's this new method to tell the sex of the fetus. So, and they did it for my blood. So I had like I said, I really wanted a girl. So my doctor had sent me the information, like the report, and it did say, you know, fetal is that of a male, but I was like, I'm only 10 weeks. I'm like, ain't no way. So they can't say right now. For my research, they were telling me you wouldn't be able to tell the sex of the baby until like you're at least, I think they said like 16, 17, 14, whatever. Somewhere around there. I'm like, I'm 10 weeks. It's too early. Ain't no way. Then they told me it was true. So this is the ultrasound for when I was 17 weeks and 6 days, which is basically almost 18 weeks. And the bottom here, they showed his little pee-pee. He was upside down. His head is literally downward, so I don't know. I'm currently 5 months. I think I'm 20 weeks now. So ooh. This is me at 5 months. I think I'm like really growing like slowly, so I'm probably gonna pop, like really get big, like maybe like around my 6th or 7th month, I don't know. But this is me at 5 months. This is without eating because I'm hungry actually right now. I have a lot in my navel. I have an innie. My navel is already starting to come out. Oh, good. 5 months. We just recently we finally made a registry list because I want to have everything for him by, was it May? Yeah, May, because he's gonna be born in July. So my due date is actually July 13th. Currently in March. I said the 2 main things I wanted to get was the stroller. It's actually a stroller and car seat combo, and a crib. So those are the first things. Those are really my only priorities for this month. Other things which would be like smaller, you know, baby appliances and stuff like that, which she will be using, I'll just get those type of things next month. But this month my only focus was the crib and the car seat combo. So that's coming in, I think, next week or this week coming on March 6th. It's supposed to be here. That's all I know. In case any of you guys, you know, want to send something, because I don't know who may be watching this or whatever, I will put the link to my registry inside of the description box below. But yeah, so that's basically the end of this video. I do hope you guys enjoy. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. As you can see, I'm doing a good job so far on being consistent. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you back again in my next video. Bye.